Week 17, Day 4, a puzzle for His Majesty. The conspirators had reason to exult. All right, the conspirators are those who put the plan together to trick the Germans. They had reason to exult. To exult means to rejoice, to be very happy, celebrate. For all evidence attested to the fact that the German High Command was gullible about Major Martin. All right, all evidence attested, meaning everything they heard declared that the Germans were being easily fooled, gullible, okay? To attest to something is to declare it true. So everything they heard declared true the fact that the Germans were gullible. They were easily deceived by Major Martin. Their defense troops were moved away from the true invasion sites and deployed to areas that were inconsequential. All right, that means that the Germans moved their troops from the places where they were, where the real invasion of the Allies was going to take place. But the false information planted on Major Martin made them think it was going to take place somewhere else. So they moved their troops away from the very spots that the Allies were going to invade and deployed them. To deploy means to spread out or put military, it's a military term, in other places. They were deployed to other areas that were inconsequential, meaning not important at all. So they moved their troops from the very spots that were extremely important to spots that didn't matter at all, based on the false information that was planted on Major Martin. Subsequently, that means because of that, when the actual attack took place, Allied casualties were minimized. That means there were very few who died on the Allied side because they were crossing or invading in spots where there were no German troops. They'd been moved. After the war, Commander Montague received a medal from the King of England. That's just something as a reward or an award for what happened. At the presentation ceremony, the king politely inquired where the young officer had earned his citation. That just means the king is being polite and asks Commander Montague, what did you do to get this medal that I'm giving you? And Montague replied, at the Admiralty, presenting the king with a genuine enigma. Well, first let's define enigma. An enigma is a puzzling situation, something that is hard to figure out. It's like, wait, I don't understand this. When you hear something and it doesn't make sense, it's an enigma. Now, this is the part that has some cultural connotation that I don't fully understand because I'm not British. But when Montague says that he earned it at the Admiralty is just the Navy of England. So it's like, I earned it at the Naval School, is what he's saying, at the place where people are trained to be in the Navy. That doesn't make any sense. What did he do to earn a medal from the king by being in the training of the Navy? But then it says presenting the king with a genuine enigma. Enigma was the term that the Germans used for their coding system to try to keep the enemy from knowing things that they were planning, they would write it in code. You know, the letters and the words didn't really mean what they said. That's, you know what code is. Well, their code was called Enigma. And it was because the Allied forces were able to break that code and determine what was actually written that contributed to the Allies winning World War II. So when it says that his answer presented the king with a genuine enigma, it means it was something that the king couldn't decode. He couldn't figure out what it meant when he said, I got this medal at the Admiralty. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I do know Enigma, it might be referring to the fact that we did break the code of Germany, which was called Enigma.